Welcome to FXcast and our FXcast video series. This is our FXcast market analysis. We're going to review today's price action, identify the daily trend, the long-term direction. We're going to identify key support and resistance price levels. We will create a low volatility watch list and an inside bar watch list, and then we will check our economic calendar to see what's coming down as far as releases that can affect our potential trades. Let's pull up the charts. Okay, so we're watching the euro dollar, and this was another one of our pairs. We're watching how the fact that when we push, it pulls back to the 20 moving average. And although the prior day action was more of a doji, this current session, trading session, is giving us a push lower. So I would certainly want to watch below these two wicks here, so below 144.90, to see if we can get a trade down into the 20 moving average. We've already gotten a big push here on the hourly. Maybe we'll get a push down off the 20 moving average as we pull back a little bit. But either way, I will still watch the break below these two wicks to see again if we will. My stop will be the loose stop will be above these wicks. The tight stop would be today's open. The Euro Aussie. This one you can make an argument about a channel there, and maybe here. When we come in here, don't really see anything over here. I mean, maybe here, maybe here. Either way, I just don't see the trade on this one. Maybe if you believe this is a support area now, and you see that we put a legend here now. The only problem is, what about these wicks here? So I don't see a trade on your Euro Aussie. There's just too much choppiness. There's got to be better trades. We've already shared some. Same thing here with the Euro Franc. If you're trading this, I wouldn't be trading off the daily. I'd trade off the hourly. And there's a wedge being put in here, a shelf being put in here. So certainly you can mark the low and a high. And if we break those areas, you can trade that more aggressive. I can't even say you get dual type of agreement because we do have such choppiness on the daily. The Euro Pound. This one we said we wanted to see, let it tell us what it wanted to do, and it originally said it wanted to go higher, and now today it's saying it wants to go lower. So I'm still waiting for this one. I don't see a trade on this one quite yet. And finally, the Euro Yen. Our broken records, same old, same old. Maybe, just maybe, we have something below 118.40. We may have a trade down to the 50 moving average. I would watch that below 118.40, 118.35. I would watch that for a trade that will get us a firm close below the 20 moving average. But again, this is a lot of choppiness here. It's not a real smooth trade. We got a breakout, and then we got more choppiness. So it's just an aggressive trade, and then my stop will be again these wicks. So that's sort of a loose stop. So right now I'll probably pass on this one. Okay, with the dollar, we'll start off with the dollar Canadian. And you can see the clear downtrend that we're watching, which is fine. We are above on a 60-minute. We are a little bullish here. And what I'll watch for is if we can get above these two wicks here. The wick from today being Monday, and then the wick of Monday night, Tuesday's trading session, the current trading session. If we get above that, we may see a move up here to the 20 moving average. May. This is more aggressive because it's counter trend. It's counter trend, so you should have a tight stop. You could a loose stop would be down here below the lows. However, because of this, I would go maybe with the low of the day or use the 20 moving average on the 60-minute chart as a tight stop if we get above the wicks. the dollar franc. Here we go. Sorry about that. With the dollar franc, again, clear downtrend. Um, is this a pause? It could be. Are we necessarily going to break back to the 20? Possibly, but I don't see the safe trade on this one. This one's even more risky than the prior one because we haven't even approached some of the candles that brought us this low. So I'm going to pass on this one. This is certainly a downtrend. We have some wicks here, so buyers are coming in right now, but I probably wouldn't be going long to test the 20 until we at least broke the candle that brought us down, if not these candles here. We had a nice falling 3 pattern here on the daily. I don't see a trade on the dollar franc right now. The last one we have is the dollar yen. And what we said with the yen was that we were in this range. Remember, we talked about this range of around here on the daily. We talked about this range right here. And I went a little bit too high. And right about here. And even though we broke out of that and we broke above it, we're back in it. And the question is, are we now going to base here to run back up to the top of this range? I don't know. But we certainly have base. Not ready to go long yet, but it's something to watch. If we start, getting above these into this wick here, then it's something to consider. That we are consolidating once again, and we are channeling, and we could be reversing to the upside. Here we are looking at the pound dollar, and what we talked about the pound dollar in our video for today was to watch for a pullback down to the 20, and we did get some of that action moving on in a continuation in the overnight session. We have to watch for, remember, our wicks. So we may not make it down to the 20 moving average. We got to make sure what was once resistance becomes support. We're already on the hourly getting a little pullback. So what I would watch for, if we don't close above 16482.85, if we don't close above this low swing low, we may have a push lower. You know me, I always love a trade off the reversal off this 20 moving average. You can see how nice it acted right there. That is the safe trade. We probably do have a little more room to go to the downside. As again, what our point was, when we get these red candles, we usually pull back to the moving average and close up that air. And I would expect the same thing to happen here. Moving on to the pound yen, we said wait for a trend to be established, and I feel the same way. Short or the hourly, we can see a nice break here of the support put in. But more importantly, as we look at the daily, there is no trend here. And so what you're going to start doing is watching, these wicks, and as soon as we can get above, 135.95, or we can get below 34.25, maybe even 33.25. Once we get below these range, we should have a break one way or the other. Right now, I still believe there is no clear high probability trade. The pound franc, we talked about two things here. We said it could go higher, it could go lower, but we said to watch these wicks, and that if you go for a short, that you want to have a tight stop or a target. And that's kind of what we have here. Even though we broke through the wicks, we immediately have come right back in. So buyers are continuing to display this is a place of value for them to enter the currency pair. And for right now, I'm not going to go long on this one. I'm going to pass on this one for right now. You can see how nicely this set up on hourly, and how did our Bollinger Bands did call this trade very nicely, very nicely. And finally, we have the Aussie dollar, and this was sort of the same thing, only as far as pulling back, but you notice that this one doesn't pull back all the way to the 20. You still have plenty of air in between this move and the 20. Could this go lower? It certainly can. One thing we can see on the 60-minute is that we have put in some wicks here. So I would go ahead and use those wicks, that if we break that on the daily, I mean, we have plenty of room to come down to 105.75. On the hourly, let's try to uh, scroll over a little bit and see. You know, we pretty much had a quick move up, so we could easily have a quick move down. So I would mark these wicks down here. If we break that, we get a candle close, not just a wick, but a close below these wicks. We have a short, hopefully to the 20 moving average on the daily, if not 105.75 as a potential target. With regards to our low volatility watch list, at the time of our taping, there are none. And for those people who are eventually going to sign up for our service, what we're going to do is we're going to provide an updated list on each hour on what is in play as far as low volatility. As far as the inside bar, we have three. We have the euro pound, the pound yen, and the New Zealand franc. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.